Hello, good morning. Welcome to Business on News Desk. Let's begin with updates from the banking sector as we near the deadline for meeting the capital requirements set by the Bank of Ghana. Indian Bank of Baroda is in the process of shutting down its operations in Ghana. According to Graphic Business, the parent company has decided not to recapitalize the bank.
If any enterprise will fail,
Business reports some 4 banks, including Cow Bank Limited, are in a tussle for an opportunity to buy the local operations of Indian state-owned lender Bank of Baroda Ghana Limited after it decided to voluntarily liquidate its business and pull out of the country by December 31. Among the banks is Sahel Sahara Bank, which is looking for a third source of funding to plug a capital deficit that will arise from its ongoing merger with Omni Bank Ghana Limited. A source in one of the interested banks told Graphic Business that Baroda had valued its net worth around 200 million Ghana cedis, and a winner bank was expected to now pay about 186 million Ghana cedis in exchange for mainly Baroda deposits. A source tipped Cow Bank as a likely winner because it is in a position to pay cash outright. One source who has been briefed on Baroda's decision to wind up its Ghana operation said it was based on a resolve by the parent company not to accumulate excess capital. All right, we'll certainly have more on that story in subsequent bulletins. And now, in recent times, the banking sector has faced some shakeups as part of which has resulted in bad decisions taken by directors. It's for this reason that the former managing director of Fidelity Bank, Jim Badin, has urged directors of banks to adhere to policies and guidelines in order to sustain their operations. He spoke at a special appreciation dinner organized by Fidelity Bank in honor of his tenure of office.
If any enterprise will fail, it has to be failure of leadership and nothing else. If I may say that again, companies don't fail anyhow or accidentally. They fail because of failure of leadership. For instance, do you respect good corporate governance? You have a credit manual that has been approved by the board. You have credit guidelines. Do you conform to the policies and guidelines, or do you cut corners? We have prudential requirements and ratios that we submit to Bank of Ghana on a weekly basis. Do you doctor your figures and create the impression that you are doing well, when behind the scenes, it's all rot? I mean, it's as simple as that. The decision to succeed or to fail is in our hands. It's a choice. And we chose to be prim and proper. We decided to be best in class. We decided to sacrifice the easy way. We decided not to chase after money.
In other news this morning, Managing Director of the IMF, Christine Lagarde, has charged government to ensure that its domestic revenue mobilization strategy does not hurt small businesses. The Ghana Revenue Authority recently hinted of plans to embark on a series of activities to recover debts and tax liabilities. It has also embarked on a distress action to deal with revenue shortfall. But the visiting IMF board says even though aggressive tax mobilization is good, it must be carried out in a way that would protect small firms. She was moderating a session at the Future of Work Summit in Accra.
I want to set the record very clear that when I talk about domestic revenue mobilization, it's not about destruction. It's not about being destructive. It's on the contrary, it's about being constructive. Because that revenue which is mobilized is going to be used in order to build education, transfer knowledge, organize health, make sure that the infrastructure projects are actually running properly, and doing all the things that is expected from a good state. So that's what it is. That's what domestic revenue mobilization means. It is nothing else. If you had in mind anything else, such as corruption, that is something that we fight against as far as the IMF is concerned, and I hope as far as my colleague Minister of Finance is concerned, because that is destructive.
Well, speaking of revenues, Finance Minister Ken Ofri-Atta says government is finding ways to tax online businesses as it works to generate more revenue. He spoke after the summit in Accra.
A joint venture with the Mauritians to establish some tech hubs in Ghana. So those are the type of infrastructure that is being built to absorb, that type of the new wave of how we want to educate our people and get them to become entrepreneurs with the appropriate skills.
What is the strategy in taxing the online businesses? There's a talk about fintech and all that.
How do we tax them? I think that's a real challenge, and we need to sit with the fintech people to really find out, how best to be able to do that, because it is happening. But then it's not, it's like the informal sector. How do we get them to tax them? And this is the beginning of the registration of TIN, the tax identification numbers, etc. We need to find a way to also get into that tech business.
And while that's it for business, we have some breaking news in the world of sports. Jose Mourinho has been sacked by Manchester United. Bernice and George will discuss that after this break.